started to get depressed in that job. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fadekemi. I'm a Christian lifestyle blogger and YouTuber from Lagos, Nigeria. If this is your first time, where have you been? Please remember to subscribe. Subscribing is free. There are some of you that always watch my videos and you're not subscribed. At least I can excuse the newcomers, but you have been watching my video and you're not subscribed. Why? So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing a story time post. It's not really, the point is not just to share a story. The point is to share, I just felt it laid on my heart to share this part. Not a lot of people know this aspect of what happened when I was in this aspect of my life, basically. So yeah, the point is to share it so that there's someone out there who is in a job that he doesn't like or she doesn't like. I know there are more women who follow me. So there's someone out there who is in a job that she doesn't like, who is in a job that the boss is mean, who is in a job that she's just depressed. She knows that, man, this job is not for me. So yeah, this video is, I'm doing this video for you. So let me just start from the beginning. I finished with a good grade, second class upper, accounting, as hot stuff, hot for labor markets. Like, you guys, I knew Excel, I was not yet chartered at that time, right? But like, I was a hot stuff for labor market, okay? But I had a small mindset. Yeah, I'm just gonna be vulnerable with you guys. I had a small thinking mindset. So I was one of those people who used to say, I don't have experience. It's going to pay me 100,000. It's going to pay me 200,000. I don't have experience. I didn't how do I say it? I did not associate myself with the right kind of thinking. Yes, so I thought small. I thought, okay, if even someone to give you 70,000 in this Nigeria, there is no work, which is wrong. Okay, please, you guys, as I'm saying this story, you guys, please go with me. Just be picking the lessons. So it is wrong for you if you're a uni student or you're doing NYC right now, you're watching this video. Don't let people project there is no work in Nigeria fear on you. It's going to affect how you engage with the labor market. That's the fact. Don't mind them. People are getting job every day. You're a child of God. You're fine. You're sustained. Don't worry. This is one of the mindset that I had. I'm sharing this because you guys are going to know why I'm sharing this. Anyway, this mindset really it hindered me, and while I was applying, I'll get this application, I won't apply. And this is actually something that I learned that women actually do. Women do it. Women usually don't apply for jobs that they feel they are not qualified for. But anyway, let's continue. I wasn't this spiritual, obviously. That time I was still coming up. Now I'm still coming up. I'm not yet Daddy Gio. I'm still coming up. Hallelujah, hallelujah. But then I was still coming up. You get, like, I was still not so as much spiritual as I am now. And I remember that time I was praying to God for a job, obviously. So I was sending different CVs around. Normal Nigerian uni student, uni graduate. You send CVs to your uncles, aunties, sister, cousin, brother, in-law, dog. Everybody's sendable. And you'll be applying on Jobberman, applying on job, all those places I was applying, right? So I now eventually applied to that place. Then I was praying that God, let them pick me. When they called me for interview, I went for the interview. But while I was praying, I wasn't asking God, oh God, is this your will? No, I was praying that God, give me a job. And so that's one of the mistakes that we also make. Most of us just say, God, give me a job. And you have to come to that level of submission with God and that's why that story of Brother Mike in The Train, that movie really stood with me, when God told him to leave a school that he wanted to be in, and when he even had to leave his job for acting. So some people are gonna take jobs, and that job, because of that job, they will stop going to church like they used to go. They will stop going for midweek service. They will stop connecting. They'll start going to church late. They will even show up in church sometimes because they are tired. You don't want to have that kind of job. And I see it happen like one too many times. Just recently, I even saw someone on Twitter was saying that if God's will is not in a job of 500k, you would rather stay in a 50k job. And people were telling him, I want to know how you will hear God. Those people, they don't understand spiritual things, and if you start explaining to some people, they won't get it anyway. So I got interviewed for the job. And then what happened was, I remember that they had told me that they would get back to me on a particular date, and then a day before that date, I had a dream. In that dream, I didn't get the job. And I was like, oh wow. And what I should have done in that situation was to pray some more and say, God, what are you saying? But me, I was like, I didn't get the job. Okay. But then I moved on. But then the next day, guess what? They gave me the job. I was like, I'm surprised. So I should have brushed it off. I did not pray, guys. All this while, I wasn't asking God, God, is this your will for me to take this job? I just felt, okay, I've gotten the job. Let me just move on. And so when they gave me this job, they gave me a very tiny offer. Like, sometimes I always say to myself that, how did I accept that offer? But then people around me were saying, oh, there's no job in Nigeria. You should be thankful. They will not be telling you that first class people don't have job. It's a lie. You have to check with that example they are giving you. Is the person excel, does the person have excel efficiency? Can the person speak well? Can the person, there are a lot of things attached to getting a job, right? But people just tell you, oh, he finished your first class, so he doesn't have a job, and then they'll make you take less than you deserve. When I got into the job, the first month was great. I was, the owner was still welcoming me, but by second month, I started to get depressed in that job. I was depressed. Okay, maybe not depressed, but I was always filled with anxiety. I was sad going to work. Like, it was that bad. Why? Because number one, the boss was always never satisfied. Like, every time the boss would always say, I don't want to use he or she. Let me just say the boss. The boss would always say, oh, you're not productive. Oh, you're not productive. You're not giving your deliverables. You're not all the time. And I would just be like, gosh, am I this poor? Am I this dumb? Am I this stupid? Because I really used to feel so down. I used to feel so terrible. I used to feel like, how am I not delivering enough? And I'll be at work till 7 p.m. I'll get to work the next day early. And I was living so far from, because I was living in a very far place in Lagos. The people they call Lagos downside. People that are living close to border. That is where I was living. And I was always sad, guys, because when I get to work, the boss will say, oh, you're not productive, and then I started to think, is it that I'm actually not? Because to be honest, if you have a main boss that's telling you you're not productive, you should go back to yourself and analyze yourself. Are you really not productive? But if you know that this person he or she is one that has problem, then you start to put that person in prayer. Okay, if you really like your job. But for me, I wasn't enjoying the job anymore. I cannot even say I wasn't enjoying it. I was enjoying it, but the environment, the work environment was killing me. Toxic work environment is a real thing, guys. I've experienced it. And I feel like it was because, I'm sharing this because as believers, those of us that are believers that watch my videos, we need to always put God first, because if you're in an environment that is toxic, it would even kill your spirituality. So, but if you're in a place where God really planted you and it's toxic, you can take that person to prayer. You finish the person in prayer. But for me, God did not plant me in that job. But I feel like everything was also part of my own process, fine. But God didn't plant me in that job. Okay, because I wasn't even seeking God's will when I got that job. Right? I was already feeling, I only spent 1 month at home after NYC. I was already anxious to get a job. Right? And that's why I went to go and take anything. And that's why we must be careful. It's the same thing with that brother Mike. He was accepting Fadekemi College because he thought, oh, that's God's will. But sometimes what we think is God's will is not even God's will. Right? So as I was saying, I was always it was just a toxic work environment. My boss was never satisfied, always complaining. I started to feel stupid. I started to feel dumb. I remember that I just went in the kitchen one day, the kitchen at work, and I just said to myself, I'm ready to quit. I don't even care if I don't have another job. And I remember that people were just telling me, oh, you see one work before you leave one work. That's not how they do in Nigeria. You have to leave one work. And I understand that because of the way Nigerian system is wired, and to be honest, if you're married, you are supposed to be more responsible. For example, someone like my husband, he can't just up and leave. Although if he says he wants to up and leave, he's not satisfied at his work, I would trust God enough that God give him another job, as long as we have prayed about it all. But sometimes I understand why they say, oh, to get another job before you leave one job. But sometimes you have to leave the job before you just kill yourself, before you die of depression and anxiety. Because that's the space I was. I was at that space where I was like, man, I'm gonna quit. I can't do it anymore. I did not answer all the people that were advising me, telling me, oh, don't quit, get another job first. Never. I said, I'm going. So if you are watching me right now and you're, because I've had people really talk to me about it and be like, their workplace, they don't like it. Let me tell you, quit. Pray about it. Let me not say quit. Don't quit, please. Pray about it, right? Be sure that this is God's leading, and then leave the place. If you're scared that, oh, will I get another job, God is going to provide. Like I can remember that there was one time I sent one accounting message. Like I was learning some accounting stuff. I was doing bookkeeping for the person, right? And I sent it to my personal email from my office email. Do you know this boss monitoring our emails told me to log into my own personal email and then told me to delete the message, that it is company property, something that is you can find on Google. I was like, what? Now that I'm a chartered accountant, I was just looking back at that situation. I was like, really? The boss really made me log into my account and delete, what was the thing? Accounting practices. Something that is Googleable. Is Googleable a word? Like when I just think about it, I'm just like, some people are just so toxic. Gosh. Anyway, I'm just sharing this because for me at that time, I realized that I really didn't take God along. And for my life, every time that I didn't take God along in everything that I've done, I regret it. That's it. So I'm just sharing this because if you're young and you're just leaving school now and you're thinking, oh, or even if you're not just living school, if you're in an environment that you know that God is not in it. Because even that time, I didn't have time for church. I remember that then they were doing convention in my church, and I was like, God, I really wish I could go convention. But me that I'm getting on 10 p.m., how can I go for convention? And that in my office, you can't tell your boss that I'm not coming to work tomorrow. You are finished, just know. And this was not only me. Let me tell you how I even knew that it was not just me that the boss. It was not just me that the boss was really, really hard on. It was all of us. Every day, you are not productive. You people are doing nonsense. Now, let me not give you guys the testimony of it all. When I left that job, one day I just got an email asking me to come for interview. One of the jobs that I'd sent, I think it was one of my aunts that sent CV to or something like that. And that was it. They called me, and that's the current job that I still have for like 4 years now, guys. And they called me up, and I remember that a day before I started praying and asking God that, God, is your will I want. And I remember that a day before, my what's it called, my house fellowship leader at that time suddenly appeared to me in a dream, and he was telling me about how he was telling me, don't be afraid. He gave me a Bible verse from Joshua, and he told me that I should run with it. Guys, I've actually shared this part of this story in my How God Gave Me a Job video. Please check it out. But anyway, yeah. And I remember that when I went for the interview, I was the youngest, and yet I got the job. And the job was even like double of that toxic job. And I was just like, God, is this how you are? So I was thinking I couldn't be paid this amount because I didn't have experience. I didn't know anybody. Can you come? But it's a lie. With God, nothing is impossible. And God is our provider. God meets needs. And so I think the fear of many people is always, oh, if I leave this job, will I get another job? But God is willing to provide as long as you're walking with God. And when I got the new job, I was able to I used to get home 6 p.m. except the day that there's serious traffic on the road. That's a traffic problem, not a office problem, right? But most times I was able to still be going for midweek service. I was still able to be going. I did not have any weekend office braha. Like, I was happy in this job. I got into an environment, and then I started hearing, wow, you're so good. Wow, Kemi thinks. Wow. And people started hailing me in my new office, a bigger office, a more, filled with more accountants kind of office. And yet people thought I was good. But I was coming from somewhere where someone kept putting me down. Do you guys see? So, really, why am I sharing this? I don't know who is watching this or whatever, but just know that God can provide a better space for you where you will grow and where you will thrive. Don't let anybody keep putting you down. But again, the balance to this is, if you've prayed about it, you must get to a place where everything, I know some people say, oh, it's just a job, but it's not. You don't just apply to jobs just because everybody's applying. You move with God. As God moves, you move. That is who a son is. That's who a growing believer is. That's it, guys. I don't want this video to be too long. I know it's a story time post, so obviously I want to give all the details, but they're not too much details. Yeah. So so that is why I quit my job, how I quit my job, how God provided another job for me, how I left a toxic environment, right? Yeah, so you guys tell me your story. Have you had this kind of experience before? Tell me in the comment section everything, whatever you think about this video, and let me just know, and also share to all of your friends that might also learn from this video. Remember that when you share to others, you're actually helping them. And also remember to subscribe. Yes, right here, subscribe here. And also watch the videos here. Yes, you can catch up with all the videos here. Yes, it should be here. Catch up with all the videos here. Yes, and I will see you guys in my next video.